What's up, Harringtons and Richters? We're going to be making some seafood chowder. Okay, so I've already started. You can see I have a pot with potatoes, celery, and carrots boiling, and I got my bacon on. I'm going to add garlic and onions to that bacon saute, and that's going to basically be some of the flavor that's going to go into the water with the vegetables. Okay, so I'm a little disorganized right now. When we come back, hopefully we'll have more stuff ready to go. Do you want to add this garlic? You want to add the garlic? Probably not. It's spicy. So Daddy will do it, alright? What's up, Harringtons and Richters? We're adding the garlic and onion to our bacon. We got to get that sauteing. And then when we come back, we'll be adding the garlic, bacon, and onion mixture into our pot for some added flavor. See you when we come back, Harrington. All right, what's up, Harringtons and Richters? Bacon mixture is almost done. We got this really good stock with the celery and carrots and potatoes boiling down. You season that up with some salt and pepper, and basically you're just going to keep seasoning this thing throughout. What I'm going to do after, what are you telling me to do? What kind of direction is that?
This direction.
That's awesome. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is adding this bacon onion mixture to the pot, and then that's going to continue to boil down until the vegetables are soft. In the meantime, I got to get my cream base going. So that's basically a can of cream of chicken, some added flour so it thickens up a little bit more, and a can of cream of celery. You can add just about anything. You could put milk, cream. It depends on the flavor that you want. A can of cream of chicken works really well. Chicken broth with flour would work, but I find that the flour goes in a lot better to a can of cream of chicken, and you don't get lumps that way. Okay, so cream of chicken, cream of celery, cream of mushroom, they all work. Once we get that mixture going, we'll add that into our liquid, and then we'll QS to the proper thickness with milk. Okay, last thing we're going to do is add the seafood, so let me cook this down a little bit more and add some things, and then we'll come back when we're ready to add in our cream of chicken base stuff. Say, what's up, Harringtons and Richters? Say it. Look at the camera and say it.
Hello, Caramellos.
Yeah, well, it's close enough. What's up, Harringtons and Richters? I'm adding some cream of chicken soup to a bowl, obviously. And I'm going to add on top of that cream of celery soup. One thing I didn't mention, if you want to save yourself some time, this can be done. It's the poor man's version, but if you don't feel like boiling down potatoes, you could add a can of clam chowder as your base. That way you can just go straight to sauteing your veggies, making your broth, and then dump in a can of clam chowder at the end to help thicken it up and get your potatoes in there. I kind of prefer doing the potatoes because it's a little fresher. But again, if you're looking for something quick and tasty, you can always add the clam chowder can to put potatoes in. We're putting in the flour. Luca is going to enjoy mixing it. This is basically going to cream up and thicken up our soup. So basically about 3 tablespoons of powder to the 2 cans of soup that I'm using. I made soup with just 2 tablespoons. It thickens, but it doesn't get that thick. This one I'm actually going for a level of thickness with the soup because I think it'll be better. Let Daddy just start it. You can finish it, okay? Let's get some of the flour in. All right. Tell Mommy what you're doing. Okay.
Ew.
One of the other additions that we're going to add to our broth, white wine, cooking white wine. If you want to use real white wine, great. Might be a little better, but it also might give you a heavier flavor too. Sherry, another nice one. Sherry, I think, is a key ingredient for any kind of chowder. Okay.
Luca.
Then we're gonna put in some fresh cilantro. Luca, are you eating that without it being cooked? We need to cook that. Let's cook it. Mix it up real well, and then we'll cook it.
I did.
That's disgusting. So everyone enjoy that. All right, we're gonna put in some fresh cilantro, some dried parsley because I don't have fresh, and some dried thyme because I don't have fresh. If you had fresh, could you please stop eating the raw soups? All right, and the raw flour. No, put it down. That's enough. And now you are banned from the soup and the flour mixture. All right. So again, fresh cilantro. Watch out on the cilantro. That's pretty heavy flavor. Parsley, you can put as much as you want. And so a little bit of thyme, black pepper, key. Okay, that's what's going to go in. When we come back, hopefully we'll have seafood ready, depending on how much of a disaster Luca makes it for me.
One.
What's up, Harringtons and Richters? Just opening up a couple cans of clams. We got to get the broth in the soup. That's going to add a level of flavor. Luca will add this broth. I'm also dumping in some mushrooms. Vegetables are completely optional. Put whatever you want in it. That's the greatest thing about chowder. Anything goes. I always go with celery, onions, carrots, potatoes. I put bell pepper in it before. Corn, I think, works awesome in soups with crab, chowder with crab. Corn is a good one. All right, hey, Luca, you got to keep your thumb. Let's just get the broth, all right? You want to help Daddy?
Yeah.
All right, we don't want the whole can going in, just the broth, all right? Careful. Okay, Daddy got this one. All right, you could dump in the clams, all right, buddy? So we're putting in our broth right now, and I'm going to get the mushrooms in so they start to get soft. And again, I'm going to add the cream base. We'll come back when I do that so you guys can see it go in. Oh, Mommy, you're dumping the spices. All right, what's up, Harringtons and Richters? Luca's in the process of dumping in some cilantro, parsley, a pinch of basil, and a little bit of thyme. And now I'm going to add this, our base thickness mixture of cream of chicken, cream of celery, into the soup. And we're going to begin to see it start to take form and thicken up. You want to start it? Let Daddy start a little real quick, okay? All right, you go ahead. So get a shot of this. You'll be able to start to see it coming together and looking like a chowder. There's a little bit of chunks of flour in there. They'll come out as it heats up and thickens up. The flour will explode a little bit, and we'll get rid of those. What's up, Harringtons and Richters? Okay, we got the milk in. It's got to reheat so it can combine and thicken up a little bit more. But we're going to add some key ingredients, okay? One is this lovely bad boy right here, Old Bay. It's the base flavor behind your soup, any seafood chowder. Not clam chowder, but seafood chowder, okay? Also, American cheese. Without it, you will not get that richness, that creamy flavor that these little bad boys can add into, okay? So we're gonna add some cheese and we're gonna add some Old Bay. Luca, you wanna shake this in there?
Yeah.
Don't drop it, okay? Go ahead, shake it. Very good. I'm gonna just throw cheese pieces in there. You can throw cheese pieces in right here. You want about 3 or 4 slices of American per pot. It just adds a level of flavor. You taste. It gives it a little bit of saltiness, and you know, you won't notice it in the soup, but it's one of those things that a cream-based soup has to have. In my opinion.
Do that one last one.
All right, last one. Go for it. Daddy's got to get some more Old Bay in here. Okay. There we go. About a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of Old Bay. Okay, you're better off adding it light because it is salty and it will darken up your soup, which you don't really want. You want it to stay white to off-white to on its way to yellow.
Look,
Okay,
I did it.
Old Bay will turn it red and it could go from white to brown. So you gotta watch, add it, taste it, add some more if you need to. Okay, when we come back, hopefully we'll have a pretty uniform soup and we'll add the seafood. Seafood is last because it's pretty much gonna cook up in 2 seconds in a hot pot of soup. Okay, so you don't want tough, rubbery seafood. Although, what's wonderful about making soup is the flavors continue to combine. The best soup you'll ever have is day-old soup after you nuke it. Okay, so the seafood gets really tender and brittle, but it's awesome when it's all potted. What's up, Harringtons and Richters? Okay, we're gonna dump in the seafood. You get a shot of this. I got clams, I got crab meat, we got shrimp, scallops, and there is a frozen piece of cod right there. That cod, even though it's frozen, is gonna go into a super hot pot of soup. It's going to cook, and then you can flake it apart with a spoon, which is what you want. You want to just be able to crush it up and kind of break off chunks of white fish, which is what will happen after this thing cooks for about 10 minutes. So right now we're going to dump in this seafood. If I can find a spoon, because we're going to have to dump it in a little bit at a time, otherwise we're going to have a huge mess. Okay? Daddy's got to get it in slow, buddy. Here we go. This piece of cod is gonna kerplunk. Okay, we're good. We're gold. Okay, so as you can see, we now have a full pot of soup. Taste it before you add the seafood because it should be salty. When you add all that seafood filled with water into this pot, it's gonna suck a lot of the salt out of the soup. So, you know, if you have a too salty soup before you add the seafood, that might not be a bad thing. Because when you do add that seafood, it's going to lose a lot of the saltiness, and then you're going to have to go back to, you know, tasting it after you cook your seafood and see if it is salty enough. Okay, so we're going to have to cook this seafood for about 10 minutes. When we come back, we'll break up our cod, give it a taste, and finish it off. Ready? What's up, Harringtons and Richters? Just finishing up our soup. If you want to come over here and take a look at this, the cod is broken up, so you can see there's a couple nice chunks of fish floating around. That's what you want. It's perfect. You know, we got our scallops, we got shrimp, we got crab, clams, and some nice pieces of cod. It's got a great seafood flavor. I'm letting it boil down a little bit more. It condenses the flavors, plus it's not quite as thick as I wanted it to be. And I was informed by management that we don't have corn. So, I'd like to put corn in this. It gives a great flavor to a chowder. Sweetens it up a little bit, but it tastes great. It's going to boil down and cool for a little bit and congeal a little more. And then we're ready to rock and roll. And we got chowder for lunch. Later on, Harringtons and Richters.